Hey there, this is Denise with Modern Priscilla Tarot and Tarot at 12, and this is Relationship Warriors. Today's topic is relationship red flags. We have all seen red flags, and we have probably also all ignored some red flags. So hopefully this will be helpful as you navigate your relationships going forward. We're going to take a look at the 8 red flags that relationship experts have identified. This information that I'm going to present is probably best suited for somebody in a new relationship or somebody getting into a relationship. Red flags are red flags no matter what stage of relationship you are in, but this seems a little bit more geared toward people just starting out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and review each, and I will put timestamps in so that you can fast forward or review. And I'm also going to do a pick a card at the end. The question for the pick a card will be, what red flags are you ignoring? So let's go over these and see what we can see. Okay, the first one. You justify their bad behavior. Now, there is a psychological phenomenon known as the confirmation bias. We all fall prey to this, and it's in different areas of our lives. And what it is we only value the information that confirms what we want. Meaning, it's, if it's a good relation, you want a good relationship, you're only seeing the good things, you're not seeing the bad. But this takes it a step further. This is not only about not seeing it or disregarding it, it's about making excuses for it. They wouldn't say that if this or this hadn't happened, or, well, he or she is only like that because they've never had a good boyfriend, girlfriend, and I'll change them, I'll help. No, this is all a red flag. You'll notice I have the Devil card on the bottom right corner. This is the card that I think really ties into this, justifying their bad behavior. Look at that. The Devil sitting there with the 2 people chained. The chained people are encouraging the bad behavior by not stopping the bad behavior. So I thought that was very appropriate, that card. Next, they don't talk through issues. Now, all couples have disagreements. This is very normal. And in fact, that's how we grow. We need to learn, and those disagreements help us to see other people's points of view. It's not about having a disagreement that's the problem. It's about how you deal with it that makes or breaks the whole thing. So the red flag you might want to watch is if your partner does not want to talk through issues or work on things together. Does your partner walk away? Do they shut down? Do they throw a temper tantrum like a toddler? Or do they place all the blame on you? Now, these are all red flags. Nobody needs to win or lose. There is a difference between a disagreement and a drop-down, drag-out fight, right? We're talking about disagreements. These are healthy, and these are, step stools to continue to grow. Okay, and the next one, crossing boundaries. Now, this is on both of you. Crossing the boundaries, that's on the person that you're dating or that you're wanting to date. But this is also on you. You need to have established some boundaries. And if you haven't already, you need to think about that and think, what are your boundaries? What are you willing to put up with? What are you wanting to do to grow? What are your goals? What would somebody be doing to cross those boundaries? Everybody has a unique set of boundaries, but these are some examples. If you are saying no to some sort of sexual conduct, they're wanting to take it too far and they're being, pushy about it. Well, clearly that is testing your boundaries. And I would like to highlight, this can also borderline, a crime. You don't want anybody to be pushing you to do anything that involves romance or intimacy. That is clearly a very hard line you need to have. some other things. They want to date exclusively before you're even ready. Let's go get married. Let's set up a bank account. Let's move in together. Let's get an apartment. Things that you're not ready to do, but they're kind of forcing the issue. We need to do this. We need to get married. It's the only way to make things right. And the last thing is when they're trying to change the way you are, the things that make you feel like you, taking that away. I don't like your hairstyle, or you need to wear this, or you should wear this, or you look terrible in that. I mean, the things that, it's obviously nice to have some constructive criticism. We don't want to go out looking like a dope. But at the same time, trying to take away what makes you uniquely you is not okay. That is the Seven of Swords, isn't it? Taking it away. They're trying to steal it away from you, just like this guy in the Seven of Swords. All right, entitlement. They have a huge sense of entitlement. This, you can kind of look and see when you're doing more than your fair share in a relationship. This is a red flag that your person, your partner, is probably someone who likes to use people. They want more for themselves. They are selfish that way. They are fine with their own needs being met, and that seems perfectly okay to them, but they're not willing to meet other people's needs as well, which is obviously not a very well-balanced relationship. Some examples. We ask for help because we're tired, we're overwhelmed, or something like that, and the person says, yeah, I'll get to that, and they never do. They never follow through. Or, I can't right now, when you clearly know they're not that busy and you need some help, and clearly they're not caring. So this is definitely a red flag. And on the bottom right, you'll see I have the Four of Pentacles, clearly depicting a very selfish person. So I thought that card was appropriate as well. Next, something in your gut just doesn't feel right. Just like the High Priestess there on the lower right, this is all about intuition. We have to listen to our intuition. It's important. Our intuition picks up on things that sometimes we don't. But more importantly, if we listen, we have a feeling about things. We know when it's going right or when it's going wrong, or there's something we should think about or look at. That when you have that feeling, you really need to take a look at what's going on. It can indicate a red flag. Sometimes your paranoia kind of pops out in the form of what you think is intuition. So you do need to think about it. You can't just go willy-nilly about that. But if that person who, again, is just trying to rush things, or they're talking about everybody in their past was nuts, they were just crazy. Abusers like this, they tend to confuse victims and to control. So they'll say, no, that's not right, and make you all confused and thinking about things. When you're feeling confused, when you're feeling like what's going on here, that's your intuition telling you something's not right. And that is a red flag. Next, everything is about them. This is some of these cross over and kind of bleed over into each other. Some of these red flags, everything being about them, that's clearly, narcissistic and things like that. But, this is also about them turning things onto you. An example is, if you confront the person and you say, something you did or said really upset me or hurt me, and instead of listening to what you're saying or apologizing, they turn it on you. This is all your fault. These are all the things you've done to hurt me. This, again, is narcissism. Narcissism doesn't go away. They don't believe they are wrong about anything, and they will constantly feel victimized. They're always going to be the victim. It's poor me, you're wrong, I'm right, that kind of a thing. This is going to help make you challenge your self-worth. You will feel guilty. You're always going to be doubting yourself. Is it about me? There might be convincing and telling you it's about you, and you might be like, yeah. So this is where you need to have your your self-esteem up, and you need to look at things. And sometimes we do have something to be accountable for. That's not saying that we don't. But at the same time, it can't be the automatic reaction as a response to what we are asking for or saying. Now you'll notice on the bottom right, I have the Five of Swords. This totally applies to the Five of Swords. This is about taking things and wanting to be superior, watching the other people walking away, dropping their swords, and this guy's standing there going, ha ha. So that seemed very appropriate. Okay, and our last one is when they are bad talking their exes. Now, everybody's got a funny story. Oh my gosh, I dated this guy, I dated this girl, and this terrible thing happened, or how embarrassing, they were wearing clown makeup. Yeah, who knows? Silly stories, yeah. But when they are overly critical of their previous partners, when they talk about everything they did wrong, not just the funny story of, boy, can you believe that happened to me, or wow, good thing I opened my eyes. No, we're talking about when everything is wrong. This is likely how they're going to treat you. They're going to talk about all the things you did wrong. And some of these other red flags are going to also pop up once you start allowing that to happen. So, not taking responsibility for their part in what was wrong with their relationship, that's important. It takes two to tango. And, it's never just one person. In the end, maybe one person decides, okay, I've had enough of this, or this isn't working, or this isn't right for me. But you know what? Two people have to be involved. Either one person is doling it all out and the other person's taking it, or both of you. Either way, that's not balanced. That is not a fair, balanced relationship. So, you know what? If they're not learning anything, taking any responsibility, and constantly criticizing their exes for everything they did, this is a red flag. And as you see, I have the Nine of Swords. This is the anxiety and the depression. I mean, everything's wrong. Everything's going to be wrong. And this is not something you would ever want for yourself. Obviously, you don't want to be that woman sitting in her bed crying with swords sitting on the wall. No. So no, it's up to you. It's up to you to make your relationship work and recognize red flags. So now we are going to do our pick a card. Now, the question again is, what red flags are you ignoring? And I am going to move. I have made 3 piles. I had to get them out of the way for my viewing window, but I will put them right here. I have put down 4 tarot cards and 1 oracle card. I am also going to place a crystal on top of each, and I will explain what each one is for. Okay, so again, what red flags are you ignoring? Pile number 1, 2, and 3. Pile 1, we have a rose quartz, and this is for self-love. Pile 2, we have a tiger's eye. This is for strength. And pile number 3, we have an amethyst. An amethyst is for protection. Sorry about that glare, I just noticed it. So I invite you to get calm, get still, think about the question, what red flags are you ignoring? See where your attention is drawn and choose a pile. I will put the timestamps in to the descriptions so you can fast forward to your pile. And let's get started. I'm going to move these over here, and we're going to see pile number 1 with our rose quartz. Let's see what we can be looking at. What red flags are you ignoring? I'm going to do this way, actually. Too many things. Ooh. Oh. Okay. So, what are you ignoring? Well, look at what we've got right here. We've got our Four of Pentacles. This is about somebody being selfish, somebody holding things too tight and wanting things for themselves. What's around it? We've got our Seven of Wands. This is about being protecting yourself, having to fight off things, having to fight off, standing your ground. That's probably the best way to say it, standing your ground. So, this has something to do with persistence as well. So let me pull that all in. This is selfishness. This is the balance that you're seeking. This means that it takes both of you. It's a give and take. It's not all about that one person and not about you. In fact, that is a little bit about what this defensiveness is about. What this is saying is the perseverance that I mentioned. This is about not sitting there and continuing to try to work into somebody's head and make them unselfish. But it's being persistent in the balance, meaning that you act very balanced. You have to continue to do that. Now, this is a huge red flag. You might be like, this is done. But sometimes we're not ready just to toss it out the door just yet. And that's okay. You need to, again, if you were listening in the very beginning, we were talking about disagreements and things. This might be something that you can, once you talk about it, can work on it. Again, put the red flag, though, in your mental notebook. Look at it. Take stock of how much this is meaning in terms of immediate running out the door, or can we work on it and get this balance back? Should you persist or not? This guy's telling me no. What have we got here? The Empress. This is also telling me that things are just going to continue. They're just going to continue. These two together here are not looking so hot. This looks like selfishness is going to continue. This looks like if you are persistently demanding fairness, you can maybe see if you can turn the tide. But again, these right here, it looks like it will continue. So check that out. It looks like this person is a bit selfish. Watch out for narcissism. Bad news. Now here is our oracle card. Challenges ahead. Wow. That is an awesome card to sum it up, isn't it? Challenges ahead with that selfish card there, that Four of Pentacles. Wow. Yeah. So it looks like you might be missing a red flag there. Okay. So now let's go to our second pile. This is pile number 2 with our tiger's eye. Let us see what we've got. Okay. What red flags are you ignoring? Well, I'll tell you and see it right away. Is this person not being very helpful, doing their fair share? Six of Pentacles, that's about helping. That is all about helping. The Eight of Swords, this is telling me, you know what? This person is probably not helping and you're feeling just overtaxed, overwhelmed. You don't know a way out, so you just do it yourself. You're just going to do it yourself because they're not helping. So this is the red flag that we are talking about here. What is next? We've got our Page of Swords. Pages, are all about new information. And this here is the Hermit. So walking into this new information, this is all about you thinking it will be different. It's going to be different. The helping. They don't help around the house. If I just show them how to do it, if I just keep doing it, they'll get used to it and then they'll want to do it themselves to make it. Yeah, that doesn't work. You can't lead by example without giving the words that need to be said. You can't just go ahead and say, okay, well, he or she didn't do this around the house, so I'm just going to do it. Once they see how lovely it is, once it's done, they'll want it to look lovely too, and they'll pick up the slack. They'll get the hint. No, they don't get the hint. You need to be able to tell them, and you need to say, this is what I need. You need to be direct. You need to be clear, not hinting. This is also, it's making you feel like this is going to solve things. If you just don't bother with saying anything, or you don't make waves, you're just going to keep on moving. Do it yourself without having that conversation, without stopping the hinting. This is just going to lead you over here to the hermit. This is you. You're going to be by yourself. You're going to be doing all the work by yourself. It's never going to change. Or you're going to be by yourself, because you know what? You've got to hold down the fort. They have all this freedom. They don't have to do any of these things. So you'll be sitting there by yourself wondering, well, where's this great partnership I had? Not only are they not doing things, they're off doing their own thing. So this red flag you might be ignoring here is that they aren't helping. They are not helping. Let's look at our oracle card for the theme about this. Healing. This makes sense. The healing that you, again, if you are just hinting and wishing or saying, I'm going to lead by example and they'll get the picture. No, they won't. And then you're going to feel overworked, overwhelmed, feel that it's not fair, feel like you're the maid, feel like you have to do all the work, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be housework, but you see, and you need to have some time to heal, to know that you are worthy. You do not have to carry all of this. All it takes is some words, first of all, being direct. That will help you in itself. You will feel so much better once you've decided to say these things and be direct, stop hinting. The only problem will be, does your person take that and do something with it? Again, the healing that is going to happen with you having some confidence in yourself, knowing that you have done what you needed to do. You have told this person, if it's still not working out, you know what? That's just the way it is. And you have to take the red flag as the important flag that it is, and allow yourself to heal and know that you deserve more. All right. Pile number 3. This is our amethyst. And again, the question is, what red flags are you ignoring? Okay. What I'm seeing here, what red flag you might be ignoring. I'm thinking that this is all talk about exes. Look at this. We've got the 3 of Cups. Is your person bad-mouthing their exes and criticizing everything they did and putting all the blame on them? 3 of Cups. This is about interaction. We talked about several exes, or talking about their exes, I mean. There's several people here. So, talking about their past relationships. This is talking about how horrible it was. We got our 5 of Wands. This was terrible. They were awful. This is bad-mouthing your exes. Very clear. Next to that, we have the 2 of Cups. And this is all about, people who come together and have that harmony and things like that. This is where it feels probably like it's going. If your person is bad-mouthing their exes, constantly talking about it, they're probably also telling you that this is awesome because you're not like that. They didn't know how to do this. They never wanted to do that. But you're great because I know you won't do that. Again, control. They're telling you what you're going to do and what you're not going to do in a, sideways kind of way. They're hinting at that, aren't they? Well, anyway, this is not true. If they're doing this, you got to watch and you got to think that's how they're going to be treating you. That's exactly how they're going to be talking about you. And that's going to be the death of the chapter. That is going to be the close, because either A, you will take the red flag to heart and you will close the chapter yourself, or B, You won't necessarily run with this red flag right away, but then you're going to start to see it. You're going to start to feel it, and then it's just going to be ended. Either that, or your person is just, nobody's going to be right for this person. If they're going to, nobody's going to be right. So they're going to be on you. And then you're going to feel like, where did that go? All I have is this. And you're going to want to close the chapter. All right, let's see what our oracle card is for the theme of that reading. Looking at the past. No way. That's exactly what we just said. Looking at the past, the past exes. Wow. Oh my goodness. That's a good one. That's exactly what we were talking about. Looking at the past. That's the red flag. All right, my friends. I hope this was helpful for you and informative. I would love to hear any comments that you have, any feedback. Please leave that in the comments there underneath the video. I love staying connected to you. Any other ideas for future Relationship Warriors videos, I'd also love to hear that from you as well. So please put that in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me. And don't forget, I am here every day at 12 p.m. Central Time for my live stream, Tarot at 12. Do some readings and have some fun. So come on over and join me. All righty. You take care, and thank you so much for watching.